Hi, this is Ian from Jericho CX Club. I hope you're all doing well. It's been a few weeks since I did my last video, and I was warned, Alan Pennington, you did tell me that this would be one major undertaking, and you're not wrong. I've done 5 videos so far. This is now the 6th video. The last video, we covered off the last part of CX principles, those things that underpin customer experience, those common truths that sit under every single aspect of customer experience. And in this video, I was meant to start looking at leadership immersion. And now I had a good chat with my old mucker, Adrian Snook from Learning Accelerators, and we discussed leadership and how it relates to customer experience. And we realized from that discussion that the conversation needed to be much bigger than leadership immersion. Now, I'm still of the opinion that leadership immersion is the biggest aspect, or certainly the most challenging aspect when it comes to how leadership relates to customer experience. But of course, there are other topics that needs to be covered as part of leadership. So the subject is now going to be expanded, and I'm going to cover 6 different areas. Those 6 areas are now, first of all, what are the motivations for an organization undertaking a customer experience project? Now, of course, some of them may be around, yeah, we need to change our business, we need to transform it, but sometimes there are other reasons why organizations do CX projects, and sometimes organizations don't really know why they're doing it in the first place. And if you don't know why you're doing it, you don't have any objectives, and therefore you're not likely to know the outcome. The next area is about writing a business case. Now, Ben Smithwell from Commotion has spoken about this. If you don't have a business case in place, if you can't provide a return on investment, forget about it, because the finance director in the business is not going to be interested in having the conversation. So we're going to be covering that in greater depth too. Next of all, becoming a trusted advisor. Now, I've found that the projects that have worked best of all have been those where I have been accepted into the C-suite, where I've worked alongside many of the major players within the C-suite, and they've really bought into me as an individual, and they've trusted me. Because without that trust between the person who's coming in and saying, look, these are the things that we need to change, and with the board of the organization, and certainly the senior management, then customer experience isn't going to work unless that relationship's there. 4th area, leadership immersion. So this is all about how do we get the leadership team to buy into customer experience. And there are a number of challenges with regard to that, because often people will pay you lip service. Often they will say they believe it, and they honestly believe it. But when you get to the point where you're saying, okay, you're going to have to sacrifice either short-term performance or headcount or budget, then suddenly people get cold feet. So we need to look about how we can get around that particular issue. Next of all, introducing different phases of the program. Now, this is something that Sean Riseborough, who's now at Bupa, has spoken about in the past, whereby you can't do it all at once. There are different stages to undertaking a customer experience program, and during the early stages often it's counterintuitive. You have to make some very difficult, hard decisions. So how can you treat your transformation program from end to end in those different stages with different types of behavior at each stage? And then finally, prioritization of issues. If you do a customer journey mapping exercise and you come up with a whole bunch of issues, then of course you have to go through a process of prioritizing those issues, so that then the leadership can make decisions about which of those opportunities and problems they want to tackle and which ones need to fall by the wayside. So there's a process that the leadership team needs to work with CX management team in order to bring those things about. Okay, so I'm not going to cover any of those subjects today. I just wanted to introduce those things. I'm also changing the style, the format of what we do with CX Club, because I'm realizing that me here standing in front of camera talking to you is going to start getting a bit boring. So a number of the people I've been chatting with over the last few weeks, I've been doing work as well, which has kind of got in the way, but a number of the people I've been speaking to as well who are interested in the concept of CX Club we're going to do it's not going to be like an interview. It's going to be more like a conversation between two people who are kind of interviewing each other, having a debate, sometimes maybe disagreeing with each other. So that's going to be the new format. Sometimes it's going to be me here standing in front of the camera, and sometimes it's going to be a two-way interview. Anyway, so please feel free to share this particular video. I'll make comments about those 6 areas of leadership that I've just spoken about, because I'd like your input, I'd like your thoughts about those different areas of leadership so that we can bring those into the conversation. Anyway, remember, first rule of CX Club is talk about CX Club. Second rule of CX Club is talk about CX Club. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.